Hello again, this is Mike with Dermaglow, and welcome to Session 5, and this is a second session in the marketing module. Okay, so let's catch right up. Last week what we talked about is we talked about looking at your marketing program as a chain of events. We gave an example of how you could build a practice with a six-figure revenue by simply making small positive changes in the links in that marketing chain. Your task for last week was to define the elements in your chain in your own practice. So in this session, we're going to identify some of the links that we feel are important so that you can match them what you've already done and get that additional input. Also in this session, we're going to identify one of the most important platforms of your marketing program. This is your automated marketing system. So in the next two sessions, we will speak to how you communicate with your clients to get the best response. And the final two sessions will introduce a referral system that will help you build clients from those that you found in your own marketing. That will conclude the marketing platform section of the marketing module. And then we'll follow that up with an advertising module. Okay? So FYI, for those of you who are paying attention, and that's you, we will offer you a series of postcards that you can customize with your own logo and your own brand. And this is no slouch program. We invested several $1,000s with one of the top advertising agencies in this industry to develop this for you. So please stay tuned. In fact, as this program progresses, we're going to have a number of surprises that we will present that will help you succeed in your new career. And we're excited that you're taking the time to help yourself. Most people will never make that investment. Okay, so let's get to a chain of events for you. I wrote down below 13 links that would represent a marketing chain in this industry. And I want you to compare the following links with what you did yourself. There's really no right number. We could probably have 100 different small little tasks that you can affect. Everyone's practice is a little bit different, so the links can be different. So what's important, and this is what we talked about last week, what is important is that you review, revise, and implement on a continuous basis. You want to continue to look at the little things, make changes, positive changes in those little things, and that's what's going to get you to achieve your goals. All right, so if we take a look at the 13 links, number one is branding. Remember, there were a number of different components we had in branding session that we did a couple of sessions ago, and each of those components themselves could be a link. The second is a target. So if we take a look at the definition of marketing, marketing is fulfilling the economic needs and wants of people that are willing and able to buy. Well, your target market are those people that are willing and able to buy. So once you have your brand, you want to be able to find a target that will buy from you. A third link in that chain might be your offer. What is it that you're going to do to draw those people into the door? A fourth link in the chain is once you have the offer, you want to put together the creative. You want to put your collateral materials together. This are your brochures, your business cards, if you're doing postcards, if you're doing a mailer, if you're doing Twitter, or you want everything to match. You want to put your collaterals together that represent your brand. The fifth link in the chain might be a media mix. Media mix might say, okay, well, I'm gonna get a blog and go out to all my friends and use the internet to grow my business. Or you might do postcards, or you might do direct mail. Media mix is the mix of advertising and marketing tools that you use to get your clients. The sixth link in the chain is what I call intake. And this is what you want to do is you want to have a predetermined way that these people will reach you. It might be a toll-free number. It might be sending them to a landing page where you collect their email address and mail out to them. The key here is that you make it as easy as possible and motivate them to collect their contact information so you can get to them. So I call that intake. The seventh link in the chain that I had would be a client management strategy, and this is your end vision for your clients. So for example, if you're doing microdermabrasion, you want to think about getting that client engaged in a series of 6 different treatments for 6 straight weeks, and then have the thought in your mind that you're going to have them there monthly for the rest of the year, 2 years, 3 years. Okay, so set up a client management strategy up front. This is your end vision of what you want out of that client. The next part of this is appointment setting. This is part of the communication. So It's one thing to get people to you. It's another thing to bring them into the door so you can talk to them so that you can give them a presentation. Once they're in the door, number 9 comes up. That's the presentation. How are you going to present what you do? And this is part of the communication strategies that we'll be talking about. Number 10 would be a close. So you've gotten them in the door, you presented, now you want to close them. We're going to give you closing strategies. Number 11 would be what I call a set expectation strategy. So this is what you do. You set an expectation with that client of what they're going to get from you, and you go on to number 12. Within 90 days, you start looking for referrals. So if you set their expectations up front and you satisfy those expectations, 90 days later, they commit to sending you referrals. We'll go through that in depth. And then finally is client retention. So client retention basically says if you get somebody in the door, you want to keep them. So if you think about it, we look at these 13 links. Each of these 13 links work chronologically together. You start out just figuring who you are. That's your brand. You take it all the way from bringing that client in the door, closing the client, doing the process, the service, the treatment, and then getting referrals from them and keeping them.